to Sports Talk with PlayerAgent3. My next guest is a Gas House representative, ACC, Big Ten, and current professional basketball player, Mr. Keyshawn Woods. What's going on, Key?
Man, how you doing, Miguel?
I'm doing all right, man. Just trying to stay safe out here with this COVID and all this nonsense going on out here in this world, man. How things going for you?
I mean, things going solid, just out here grinding in Europe, just trying to stay focused. Season has started, so just trying to get some wins.
All right. I appreciate you coming on the show, man. But let's start it like this, man. For the people who don't know what the Gas House mean, man, enlighten everybody what the Gas House mean.
Gastonia, North Carolina, man. It's part of the 704. A lot of people try to look down on us, but we got a lot of hoopers that come through the Gas House, But, it's just a little town, a little outside of Charlotte. They got some hoopers.
Well, right. So when you think about, when I think about Gastonia, I think about people like James Worthy, Daryl Armstrong, Sleepy Floyd. Growing up, knowing about those guys, I'm sure your pops or another OG told you about those guys. Did that, inspire you to want to play professional sports?
That was one thing, just to know that some people from where I'm from made it out and on the big stage at that, it was one thing for me to just want to stick to sports, kind of stay out of struggle, stay out of the streets, just kind of stay focused on, playing ball for the most part. But, hearing those names growing up, you definitely motivated and feel like you can do it too.
Right. At what point did you decide to pick up a basketball?
I started playing basketball when I was 3 or 4, back when everything was just fun, nothing business. You just getting to have fun with your friends, meet up, hoop, be on the same little league teams and stuff like that. So when I was 3 or 4 is when I first picked up the basketball.
Now, some people might not know, man, but you actually attended, I think it was Northside Christian Academy in Charlotte. Why did you leave Gastonia to go play high school basketball in Charlotte?
Well, I first started off in Gastonia, but once my coach, decided to step down and become the AD, and I didn't have a coach at the time, so not really knowing what kind of coach I was gonna have, and also not having the type of team to compete for a state championship, me and my pops basically just thought it's best that I moved on, so I could have that opportunity to compete. And I chose Northside Christian.
Well, and don't know the route or the distance between Charlotte and Gastonia, how long of a drive is that? And did you have to move to Charlotte or you commuted every day?
No, so by then I had my license, so I drove 25, about 30 minutes each day to school. I drive there, had practice, and then after practice, I drive back. Or, sometimes I could probably possibly stay at one of my teammates' house if I decided to or not. But most of the time, I just, commuted back and forth from Gastonia to Charlotte.
Well, was that normal for that area to go to Charlotte to play high school basketball?
So especially from Gastonia, it's before I made that decision, it wasn't really guys that kind of really made it out of Gastonia, went to the big, big schools and stuff like, you hear like girls like Shannon Smith, got to play in North Carolina, then she transferred to Michigan. Mm-hmm. And then, Kelsey Harris, but she went to Elon, but guys-wise, most guys didn't really go, top, other than AJ Blue football. Well, we had some football players, but when we talk about my sport, basketball, not really. So I just knew I needed that change, if I kind of wanted to get to where I wanted to go.
Mm-hmm. What program were you affiliated with?
High school, I was affiliated with Team Charlotte, so Jeff McGinnis. That's who high school on now I was with them. But growing up, I was with the Forest City Heat before Team Charlotte. And then I had 1 year with the Royals, 9th grade year. But, when things picked up a lot, I was with Team Charlotte.
Okay. So now you in Charlotte, you at Northside Christian Academy. At what point did you say to yourself, you know what, I can do this on the next level. I can do this on the Division I level?
Well, I felt like that my freshman year before I got there. So like, especially, because freshman year, it was just me. I was going up against 6 or 7 Division I players. And then I'd be like the only one on my team that's like a Division I player. So, I had to be motivated nightly, going against Braxton of Boise, that powerhouse at United Faith. Then I had, I played Northside Christian my freshman year, Victory Christian, and Davidson Day. So all of them had like 4 or 5 Division I players each year. So my freshman year, I was like, nah, like I can really do something with this. And then when I got with Dink, when I got with Dink, Badgett, and Jeff McGinnis at Northside Christian, they just really helped elevate that confidence to a whole nother level.
Talk about your when you first got that first call or that letter or whatever it was. What was it like to know or learn that there are several college coaches that were interested?
So I got my first offer when I was a freshman. UNC Charlotte was my first offer, and I was that was probably one of the happiest moments for me, because it's like, man, I done put all this work in, and I got noticed, and I got noticed, in 9th grade for me. So for that to happen, I just knew I'm doing something, but I still got a lot more work to do. Mm-hmm. So when they gave me that offer, it motivated me more than anything else.
But you ultimately Charlotte, and I'm sure you were recruited by several other schools. What was it about UNCC that that won you over? Was it the fact that it's right there at home?
Nah, home was never really a factor for me, because I always felt like I could go off and be okay. But it was just the fact that, Allen Major, Ryan Odom, them guys, they stuck with me through my ups and downs throughout high school. My highs, my lows, high school ball, AAU ball, no matter if I had a good game, bad game, those guys stuck by me through the end, and then, at the time he had got that contract extension extended to where he was going to be there until, but pretty much I graduated. So that was, kind of the icing on the cake, knowing that Coach Major would have been there, through my whole college career. So the relationship factor with them guys is what made me choose UNC Charlotte more than just it being close to home.
Okay, so you play at UNC your freshman year. Wake Forest University comes after that. Why did you make that move to the ACC?
Well, growing up in North Carolina, ACC is all you know for the most part. You either dream of playing with North Carolina or Duke. Especially in my household, it was North Carolina growing up. So I just felt like with that opportunity, me wanting to play in the ACC, North Carolina didn't want me. So I just felt like, why not play against them? That's better. It's even better. And then with Wake Forest, they got a great education. So me having a degree, me knowing I had to sit out that year, I knew I was going to really be able to get my degree. So me being able to have that Wake Forest degree on the back end was a plus for me too.
And you transferred to Ohio State, the Ohio State University Buckeyes. Talk about that transition and why did you make that move?
That's a whole nother world up there in Ohio. That I made that move probably based solely on the sense of their brotherhood and the networking that can help for me after basketball. I had 1 year left. I wanted to make the tournament. I know I got a play-in game with Wake Forest, but I wanted to have a seed. I wanted to really hear my name called, have a seed in the tournament. And I felt like what Coach Holtman and them guys was doing, I would have had that opportunity to do so. But the way that the alumni come back and they are part of the guys, they are part of the team, and they like really stick by us, that's what sold me more than kind of anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I really liked about, the Ohio State University.
When you think about your college career, you think about the UNC Charlotte, you think about Wake Forest, and you think about Ohio State. The differences between those three conferences, what do you think the major difference playing in the ACC versus playing in the Big Ten or versus playing was UNCC Conference USA back then, or what?
Yeah, Conference USA.
Okay, so what would you say the major difference in those three conferences?
Big Ten is very physical. Big Ten is very physical and league play. But, ACC, you get to play fast. And all my life, I've always played fast, more in the Big Ten, it's more, half court, who can score in the half court. You're not going to have too many big games where you're scoring a lot. But you got to really play defense, shut people down. And, that's what, the Big Ten really pride themselves on. And then, ACC, we fast paced. You get up and down, high scoring games. You do play defense, a lot of athletes and stuff as well. But in Conference USA, we play fast too. So I just feel like the Conference USA, ACC, faster pace, and then Big Ten, it's more physical and half court more muscle.
Can you take us back to the first time you stepped foot in Cameron playing Duke, or the first time you stepped foot in the Dean Dome playing Carolina? What were those moments like?
First time, what was that? 2017. I set out 15, 16, yeah. So 17. I got in the Dean. I think it was the Dean Dome first. We played. No, that's a lie. We played them at home. It was Duke first. That was the first place I played in, and it was just crazy because you growing up, you watch it on TV. You get to see how the Cameron crazies are. You get to hear how they literally have a sheet with all our information from my team, and they just throwing shots at you from the minute you step on the court. You just shooting, and just for me, it was fun. I love playing in Cameron. Mm-hmm. And, just hearing what they saying, and then you getting to play against a legendary coach like Coach K. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was pretty dope. I didn't get too excited, but I have a little moment where it's like, yeah, I finally get it. I'm playing the Cameron.
Mm-hmm. Right. If you could think back to your college career, man, playing in those three conferences, who are some of the better players that you competed against?
Better players. So if I say ACC, I played against, Luke Kennard, Jason Tatum, Justin Jackson, Joel Berry, Tyus Battle. He was pretty tough. Then I got to play against my boy, NC State, Torn Dorn. We played each other, UNC Charlotte. So that little rivalry, that was good, for bragging rights for us back in the city. Virginia Tech guards, Justin Robinson, one of them quick, fast guards. It's a lot. ACC and then Big Ten, you got Cassius Winston, or Edwards from Purdue. It was a lot. I got to play at a really high level in both leagues, and I really appreciate the kind of my path. Getting to have that experience.
Being that you played in the ACC and Conference USA, how do you think that prepared you once you got to Ohio State?
By the time I got to Ohio State, for me, everything was just, I haven't played college for that was for year 5, so mental. Mm-hmm. It's about the mental side of the game by the time I got to Ohio State, because I done been through the whole changing my body to playing the ACC and, from Conference USA to ACC. So I done did all that, body transforming so I can compete at the, that type of level. So it was more so the mental, like really trying to get my mental side of the game better.
Well, when you think about you think about playing at UNCC, playing at Wake Forest, then playing at Ohio State. Did you ever have any concerns that coaches on the next level would look at, that you played at multiple schools? Did you have any concerns that coaches would look at that as a red flag?
Yeah, I did. I worried about that a lot. Transferring one time, maybe, it's cool. But, once you get to that third, a lot of coaches want to look and maybe think that you're the problem, and think that you cause a lot of problems and you the problem, why you transferring so many times. And, everybody don't always get the full side or the true stories because, you got coach's side, you got your side, and then there's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was always, what it looked, how it looked. He'd been to 3 different schools, different colleges, but I finally got over that. So, especially just being year 3 in Europe, everybody just be like, you went to Ohio State. Now they just say one school. They don't really say all the other ones.
All right. At what point did you really start to hone on trying to play professional basketball? Was there a game where you felt like, I think I can do this on the next level, or you always had that mentality or that confidence that you could play on a professional level?
No, sister, I probably got that confidence. Yeah, freshman year high school, that's the goal. That year, a lot of things, changed for me, and I took basketball to another level, and I knew that I was trying to make basketball my profession, and I wasn't trying to let nothing get in the way of letting basketball be my profession.
Well, and you got the opportunity to play. You started your professional career in Holland, where you had a pretty good season, averaging 16.7 points a game. Talk about that transition from college basketball to playing professional basketball.
It wasn't tough because your coaches tell you, once you leave college, it's gonna change for you. When you're playing professional, you don't got people doing your laundry no more, getting your loops and all that. So you gotta do all that stuff by yourself. So I was pretty prepared for that aspect of it. But the thing gets for being gone for so long. That grind of being gone for 10 months out of the year. But, for me, my season got cut short because of COVID in Holland. But that it was good. I needed it. I needed that, get that year under my belt, that experience of being out, thousands away by myself and, trying to figure out how to play European basketball.
Adjusting to a different culture, different food, different languages. Was there a difference on the court in terms of the competitiveness or the speed of the game?
I wouldn't say so, but I mean, the only difference is you playing with grown men. You can be 20, so you can be 22, 23, playing with 40-year-old guys out here that's been playing this game for a very long time. And, and if you want to compete and you want to go up in leagues and, kind of be one of the better players in your league, you mentally is where you got to get better. Physically, most people can be good, but mentally, just being out here and, this grind of practicing all the time, it can drain, us, foreigners that's coming over here. So you just mentally got to get yourself ready and prepared to handle that grind for so long.
Was there ever a point in your first year in Europe where you wanted to give up, albeit that, you miss your friends, you miss your family, it was just a culture shock for you. Did you ever have those thoughts or feelings?
The very first day I got there, very first day, had a problem with, I couldn't read the signs on the train. I had all my luggage. I had to switch trains and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, this is too much. I want to go home.
Uh-huh.
But at the end of the day, I love hoop. So I love what I do. So I just embraced the adversity. So whatever comes my way with, learning how to adjust and adapt overseas, I'm willing to do it, to continue playing this game for as long as I can.
And now you're in another country. You're in Poland right now with Gluis. How do you think that year in Holland prepared you for playing in Poland?
The leagues are different. It's more physical here, but kind of how physical the guys was being with me in Holland, prepared me for Poland. Like I know, like now when overseas pro ball, it's a whole nother level of physical. So, in my summertime and my preparation, I know how I need to prepare for this type of physicality over here in Europe, and just adjusting to that. So really, I'd just say probably the physicality, it really prepared me for.
What are your expectations for this season?
My goal is always to make playoffs. I want to prove people that I can win, and I want to prove that I can lead a team, winning playoffs, championship, all of that. But, right now I was just taking it a game at a time, just trying to figure out what we're good at, where our weaknesses at, and, handling adversity at different times in different games, because every game is going to be different. So right now, just trying to take it a game at a time so we can reach that end goal of, fighting for a championship or being, one of those top teams at the end of the season.
Now, for some, players that are in college right now that aspire to play professional basketball, some will play in the NBA and some will go overseas to play. Just give me something important that you can give to these guys in terms of being able to make it over in Europe, because it's not for the faint at heart. If you've never been away from home that long, it's definitely a culture shock. What would you say to a player that wants to play basketball?
I would say that kids need to work on the mental side of things. Everybody want, during the physical, but you gotta be mentally strong to last here in Europe. If you want that, you can't make, everybody not gonna make the NBA. And eventually, everybody gotta, adjust and understand that. But they also gotta understand there's other ways that they can continue to do what they love to do. It's just gonna be thousands and thousands of miles away from your family. Mm-hmm. So I would just tell kids, start early with working on the mental. Focusing on the mental side of the game, and mental thing with adversity, anything that can just come at you, so you prepare at any time for anything to happen, good or bad. So that way, if you do have to come play overseas, you prepare to handle that long grind of a 10 months of being away from home.
Yes, sir. Now, Keyshawn, this is the last question I'll ask you, man. You've recently become a father, man. Congratulations on that.
Appreciate that.
How has that affected you in terms of playing basketball on the court and off the court?
I have my why now, for me. So it's like I can't let anyone get in the way of my why. Like, why am I doing this? Like, I love the game, but now I gotta provide for, my little one, my son. So I take everything, I kind of break everything down in the sense of like, for him, how I think, how I move, what I do, how I do my training sessions. So when I am home, I'm with him, and then when I'm away, how much, make sure I talk to him every day, regardless if he can talk to me back right now, just talk to him every day and just letting him know, and having my why and knowing why I'm doing this is probably the best gift he done gave me. Him being born, done helped me like really refocus and, take this overseas situation to another level.
What's next for Keyshawn Woods?
Next, I just want to keep moving up in Europe. I want Euro Cup. I want to be in the Euro League. Like, that's my ultimate goal. So whatever I got to do to get to that status, that's what I'm driving for. So, but I got to do what I got to do here in Poland first. So one step at a time, to get to my bigger goals that I want.
All right, man. Listen, I appreciate you coming on the show, man, and sharing your journey from the gas house to playing professional basketball. Wish you nothing but success, man. Stay healthy. Go in there and get that work, man. Like you said, man, you know your why. So let's keep at it.
I appreciate it.
This is Sports Talk with Player Agent 3, my man, Mr. Keyshawn Woods.